The human spirit is a candle. It burns brightly with desire, passion, a sense of adventure, curiosity. But as you get older, and if you don't tend to the candle, it slowly gets put out. It will slowly be put out. Um, as we grow, the characteristics that we had as children are slowly beaten out of us, verbally, physically, emotionally, with comments that discredit you and turn you away from chasing your dreams. Like, oh, I wouldn't do that. Oh, aren't you still a bit old to be doing things like that? Whatever. So it's our responsibility as young people who have dreams to tend to the candle and keep our human spirit going, because otherwise it'll die. Your candle will suffocate and you'll settle. I often think I could never post again. Enjoy my evenings, relaxing, taking it easy, watch a film, go to bed early, and just take it easy. Fuck that. I've got a voice, so I'm going to use it. Energy to spare, and a passion and interest in learning, reading, and creating. So I'm going to share it. It is my responsibility as someone with these specific skills and interests to make the most of them. Otherwise, my candle's going to die. I'll stop reading, I'll stop learning, I'll stop living with such enjoyment and passion that I'll just slowly take my foot off the pedal until I'm just climbing the ladder at the job I've already got. And that doesn't sound interesting. That doesn't appeal to me. Office politics. Working in an office every day. Waking up early to an alarm every day. Working for someone. Having no actual contribution to the business. If I left, they would replace me. If the CEO messes up the business, I lose a job and I had no say in it and had no control. I have no freedom. I get 4 weeks off a year, as most people do. That's not really... How is that enough? I want more, so I'm going for more, and I recommend that you go for more. Don't take no for an answer. If you're young, you don't have to stop, as long as it's legal. But what about you? Is your candle dying before you're 30? Like, you shouldn't let that happen. Working in an office is draining. Staring at Excel sheets for hours on end takes that out of me. But as soon as I get back and start doing this, I'm rejuvenated and ready to actually share and do something that I'm passionate for. So take it upon yourself to try things that you actually enjoy. If no one judged you or celebrated with you for doing something, what would you do? Whatever that is, you should do that. If you'd run a marathon just to tell people you ran a marathon, you wouldn't do it if no one was around. Because that's what I was going to do. I was like, 2025, yeah. I'm feeling a little bit lost and without direction. I'll do a marathon. I don't really want to do a marathon. The only reason I do it is to say I've done it and to get the congratulations from people. But that is no way to live, chasing approval from people that are probably not doing as well as you, if that's the kind of thing they're impressed by. Like, I've got friends that run, I tell them congratulations and I'm glad to see them picking up new habits and improving themselves. But beyond that, if it's a 10k, a marathon, an ultra marathon, it doesn't really matter to me. It matters to me that they do what they enjoy. If they truly love running, they won't tell anyone about it, they'll do it. Then I'll ask them and they'll tell me. But if all they talk about is running and how far they run and how quick they run, that's not a reflection of something they're truly interested in. It's something to gain approval from other people. Avoid that with everything you can. Do something that truly makes you so energized and so passionate and so happy and excited and emotional and angry when it goes wrong that you get up and do it again. things like this that truly motivate you when no one is watching are what you should be applying your time to. So I'm not doing a marathon. I'm much more thinking jiu-jitsu again. I used to, and then my gym stopped doing jiu-jitsu for logistic reasons, so found somewhere further away, but something I want to do. I don't know if I'd be able to make videos about it, but if I could, I probably would consider it for educational purposes, but that is something I would do if nobody ever found out. I know I've contradicted myself by telling you, but I would do it if nobody knew. Like, I do YouTube and I don't shout it from the rooftops that I'm doing it. But I'm not upset if someone has something negative to say either. I ask my closer friends to criticize it and tell me what's wrong with it, tell me how I can do better. But I do, yeah, you need to accept the positives and move on, but also ask, sometimes, if you're capable, ask people to find the negatives in what you're doing so you can get better. It'd be the same with running. You'd have a trainer point out your weaknesses, what you're doing wrong in your form, in your diet, in your training, so you can do better. If that makes sense. Get people that point out where you're going wrong so you can do the things that you want to do better. Another point, if you're chasing approval from other people, you might accomplish a lot of things like a marathon, I don't know, blue belt in jiu-jitsu, a triathlon, a decent YouTube channel, decent wage, loads of holidays, skiing trip, whatever, all these things. But if you're just doing it to tell other people and impress other people, your candle and your human spirit will still die. You'll still suffocate by the time you're 30 if you're just chasing approval. Because the thing with doing things for other people's approval is you can't do the same thing twice because nobody cares the second time. And that's assuming they cared the first time. If you do a 10k, people might say, congratulations, well done. But if you do another 10k, it's like, cool, but you already did that. We already celebrated that. So now you have to do a marathon. You do a marathon, everyone's like, wow, that's so great, I could never do that, that's so impressive. You get all that good feeling and accomplishment. Then you do a second marathon, they're like, yeah, cool. So then you either have to up the ante again or switch. So other people are controlling what you're doing. It's like, how, that's not appealing. I'm sure I've done that, and I nearly did with the training for a marathon. So I'm glad I actually sat down and reflected. I was like, what do I actually want to do? And I'd recommend you do the same. And things you already do, do you actually want to do them, or are you doing them for other people's approval, recognition? Just again, ask yourself the question, would you do it if nobody celebrated with you? But yeah, that's the more important part. If no one judged you, you could do anything. If no one celebrated with you, that's a lot harder. I would run a marathon if nobody judged me, but I wouldn't run a marathon if nobody celebrated with me. So they're similar but different questions. You have to be strong in work, school, around your friends and family, because they will slowly, if you let them, suffocate your candle, extinguish your human spirit, your sense of adventure, your taste for curiosity and for living the way you want to. It's not necessarily because they hate you or they want you to do badly. It's because, one, they might not know any better, two, they think it's too risky and you'll end up worse than where you are. And it's just, they will say it's in your best interests, but I don't think I could tell someone not to pursue something they enjoyed. I would never tell an artist to stop drawing. I would never tell an author to stop writing. Never tell anyone to stop doing what they truly cared about. I would never tell Jonah Hill's character in Superbad to stop drawing dicks. If that's what he's interested in, that's what he's interested in. For people that accomplish great things, it very rarely happens to them. It's them that happens. Apparently that's a Leonardo da Vinci quote, maybe, but I don't. There's no real reliable source on that. It's just an old saying. So don't wait for something to happen to you. Take agency and do something privately if it needs to be. Don't care about being celebrated with or being judged with. Do something that you really feel drawn to. For me, it's reading. For me, it's making videos. For me, it's writing these scripts. It's writing my own philosophical essays that I have not told anyone about. It's journaling. It's taking photos. It's all of these things that I just take time to do myself, regardless of if anyone ever saw. I think that's how you truly, truly make the most of your 20s. 6 months until I'm 22. And I started this video and the idea for this video thinking I was worried that I wasn't living my 21st year as best I should. But as I've gone through this and reflected and made the video, I realised there's no other way. You don't have to live it how I've lived it to make the most of it. The way to live it is by really going all in on something that you would give up everything for. It's a lot easier to settle for nothing and give up everything than it is to go after everything and have nothing. While I don't have the money to go and buy a house, I don't have a Lamborghini on the driveway, I wouldn't give it up. I'm not going to complain about it. My car does 0 to 60 in nearly 20 seconds, and that is just amazing. It is just so funny being overtaken all the time. I don't care, but there's nothing I can do about it. I wouldn't give up the Nissan for a Lamborghini right now. I wouldn't sell my dreams for enough money to finance a nice car. I own the Nissan and all of its quirks, just as I own my life, and I own my actions, and I own my decision making. Because I have less things and I care less about losing those things, I'm free to do more. People that care about losing what they have will lose it, and it will be hard for them, and because of that they will do less, they will risk less so that they can hold on to what they have. But you can't take it with you. It doesn't really matter what car you drive, where you live, what you do. What matters is how you enjoy your time, how you spend your time, the quality of that time, and it's not decided by what you have. Materialistic people judge themselves and judge others by what they have, and while someone who's like me, who's not, or like you, who's not necessarily materialistic, what we like is still reflected in what we own. I like reading, as I've said. I like writing, so I've got loads of books. So there's a similarity. Materialistic people, non-materialistic people are still reflected in their possessions. But you could take away my books. You could take away my car, and I'd still find a way. I would still be happy. Strip away a materialistic person's possessions, and you strip away who they are. Don't waste your 20s on materialism or chasing accomplishments you don't want. Just really, really keep the candle alive. Throw lighter fluid on it, throw wood on it. Start a bonfire with your little candle. Just make sure the dream doesn't die. Burn down the whole house if you have to.